Hey students, I wanted to make a video to remind you and refresh your memory on how to round using CUBA. Remember that CUBA is to circle the number that you're rounding to, underline the number to the right of that circled number, determine if the underlined number is a baby or a bully, and add all zeros after. Baby or bully, baby is 0 to 4 and bully is 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so now let's take a look at some examples. So I'm showing you this number 4,716. If I want to round it to the largest place value, in this case it's the thousands because that 4 is in the thousands place, I would start by circling that number, underline the number to the right. That 7 is a bully. That means that the 4 is going to get beat up to a 5. And I'll add all zeros after for the remaining 3 place values. So 4,716 rounded to the nearest thousands place, which in this case is the largest, would be 5,000. If I take that same number, 4,716, and I want to round it to the hundreds place, so let me go ahead and get rid of what I did for CUBA here. Okay, so this time I want to run it to the hundreds place. I'm going to circle the hundreds place, underline the number to the right. In this case, that 1, that underlined 1 is a baby, so it can't do anything to the 7. The 7's going to stay the same. We know that we have to add all zeros for the remaining 2 place values. But don't forget about that 4 in the thousands place. Even though it had nothing to do with the rounding, it still wants to pack its bags and come to CUBA. It's going to pack its bags and come along for the ride. So rounding that number to the hundreds place makes it 4,700. Okay, so now I'm going to do the tens place. I'm going to round it to the nearest tens place. Let me go ahead and rewrite it on here just so I don't have to erase. Okay, if I'm going to round it to the nearest tens place, the first thing I'm going to do is circle the tens place. In this case, it's this 1. Underline the number to the right in the ones place. That 6 is a bully, so that's going to beat up that 1 to be a 2. I'm going to add all zeros after. There's only 1 place value left, so I'll do that. But this 7 in the hundreds place and the 4 in the thousands place, they want to come to CUBA too. They want to come along for the ride. So I just have to put them there. So 4,716 rounded to the nearest tens place becomes 4,720. So let's talk about a tricky one, okay? We're going to talk about a little tricky one. This is taking this number and rounding it to the nearest 10,000s place. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it. $4,716, Mrs. DeLong, there is no 10,000s place. This stops at the thousands place. But that's okay, because I'm still going to use CUBA. The 10,000s place would be right here if it was there. So I'm going to go ahead and circle that place value as though it had something there. In that case, it's a 0. I'll underline the number to the right, which is in the thousands place. Since this 4 is a baby, that means it can't do anything to it. Can't do anything to the 0. So that 0 is going to stay a 0. And we'll add all remaining place values as a 0. Really, that just means that if I try to round 4,716 to the nearest 10,000s, it just becomes 0. So really quickly, let's say that, let me get my eraser here. Sorry to make you dizzy. Let's say that instead of 4,716, it was 5,716. And I'm asking you to round that number to the nearest 10,000s. Again, Mrs. DeLong, there isn't a 10,000 spot. Okay, we'll just circle it as though there is, where it would be. Underline the number to the right. Since that, and remember this is a 0 because there's nothing there. Since that 5 is a bully, it would beat this 0 up to become a 1. And then I would add remaining zeros for all the additional place values. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So 5,716 rounded to the nearest 10,000ths place would become 10,000. Even though it never had a 10,000ths place, we can still pretend that it does and do CUBA. And that's using CUBA for rounding. Thanks, guys.